get pencil and paper. Trust me. I know that Stacy makes this available later. You can always go back and rewatch and listen to this. But I have a lot of good stuff for you tonight, so be prepared. When it comes to foreclosures, there are 3 stages. And stage 1 is buying directly from the homeowner. That's your pre-foreclosure stage. Stage 2 is foreclosure, where you buy at the courthouse, whether in a non-judicial state, you buy at the courthouse steps. In a judicial state, typically you're buying inside the courthouse. In judicial states, the lender has to sue. They have to submit a lawsuit in order to get their asset back. In a non-judicial state, the lender can have it auctioned off on the courthouse steps. And in both cases, just consider in stage 2, you need all of your cash at closing on the spot. Each state is a little bit different. Like Texas and Georgia, for sure, you have to bring all of your money right there. When you win the bid, you have 15 minutes to pay for that. Texas is so serious about it. You don't have the money within 15 minutes, they recry it and sell it to the next bidder, the highest bidder. So you got to have your money ready to buy on the steps. One session, I'll probably talk specifically about steps, but that'll be later this year. For now, mark your calendars for the 4th Tuesday every month and come back at 7 o'clock Eastern time and join us here. Stage 3 is post foreclosures. Those are commonly called REOs, real estate owned. Those are bank real estate owned. In post foreclosure, you're really buying directly from the bank. Now, there was a time way back in the day that we could literally call the bank and make offers directly to them. You can do that with small banks today. You can do that with regional banks, medium-sized banks. One of the things you want to do for REOs is contact your bank and say, hey, can I speak to somebody in the REO department? Sometimes you can go online and you'll see their REOs. Ask them for a list of REOs. Ask them for a list of non-performing assets. That's something that you want to do, is try to get the non-performing assets and then figure out if they're willing to bypass their system and sell directly to you. Like I said, the big banks won't do it. There's so many different types of loans out there, and the loan dictates what the bank can do and cannot do. Most of the loans, like here, we're in Atlanta, Georgia, and here a lot of our business are insured loans. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, VA, USDA, those are all insured loans. There are conventional loans with less than 20% down. Those are insured loans. When there's an insured loan in place, the bank cannot make all their own decisions. Let's just look at it this way. There's a Wall Street investor behind them. And when there's a Wall Street investor behind them, there's several levels of approval before they can sell that asset. It's called a non-performing asset because it's in default, but before they can sell that asset for less than face value. So just kind of telling you a little bit about that. But tonight, again, because we're in a place where there's forbearance, and forbearance, the government has intervened and basically have made the lenders create a friendly forbearance program. Friendly meaning it's a soft qualifying. You call your lender and you say, hey, I'm drastically affected by COVID-19 and I need to stop making my payment on my mortgage. And so this forbearance does not go on your credit report. And you get to stop payment. Now you have to be current at the time you make that phone call. This started in March of last year. That was the beginning of it, starting in the April payments of 2020. And it was for 6 months. And then they extended it for 6 months. So you could literally not make payments for 12 months on your home. And then they extended it for another 3 months. So now it's 15 months long with no payments. Now, there's rumor that they may extend it through September. Nobody knows. So there's the forbearance as it relates to foreclosures. There's the moratorium as it relates to foreclosures and evictions. And the moratorium is all of those insured loans that I mentioned earlier. The banks are not allowed to foreclose on them right now. Now, there's always exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, the banks are not allowed to foreclose on those insured loans. And that's the majority of the loans in some cities. So that is good through right now. That moratorium has been extended through May Again, rumor says they may extend it through September. What does all that mean to us, right? That means that what's getting ready to happen, guys? We know something's going to happen at the end of these moratoriums, at the end of these forbearance programs. So at the end of forbearance, there are several options that the borrower can request, and the lender will give them workout options. Number one, the most friendly is for the lender to take the entire amount that will now be called in arrears, the entire amount that they haven't paid for the last year, year and a half, and put it to the end of the loan, as they're calling it. It becomes really a second mortgage, and I call it a silent second because no monthly payment is owed, and it's a zero interest. There's no additional interest added to that amount. So if your payment is $1,000 and you haven't paid for 15 months, you now have a $15,000 second mortgage or third mortgage, whatever the case may be, sitting over here. It's a silent mortgage that gets paid off sometime in the future. Now, there's conversation about what that actually means and what can happen. When does that have to be paid off? I haven't seen anything specific except that when you sell your house, it gets paid off. One of the lenders told me when you pay off the first, then you have to pay it off. I don't know that to be 100% true. I have not seen any of the paperwork yet coming out from lenders that shows what that silent second looks like. You have to read it very, very carefully. There's some things happening out there, like if your loan, your current loan is 30 years and you're, let's say, 2 years in and you have 28 years left, if you've taken this, you might have to have everything paid off at the end of that 28 years. So you're going to have to read the documents very, very carefully. The other workout programs are not so friendly. You know, some of them may be that you take that amount that hasn't been paid, you take your current mortgage and you put it together and you create a new mortgage and new terms and new interest rate. So that's something that's an option out there. Now you have to qualify, just like you qualify up front for a new loan, you got to qualify for it. So there's a lot of options. Here's the bottom line. We had the great recession of 2008, right? 2008 was a great recession. And then I have some information in the first quarter of 2009, there were 616,000 foreclosure notices. 616,000. Today, there are over 3 million families or households, over 3 million households in forbearance. If you look at the numbers, it's like 5.5 times that number. A lot of these households in forbearance are not going to come out solid. They're going to end up in foreclosure. I've heard somebody call this a foreclosure incubator. So keep in mind, the forbearance households were current. They were current. And then when their forbearance ends, unfortunately, a lot of folks are not going to have their jobs back. Life changed. You got in a habit of not making your monthly payment. You know, what's going to happen? A lot of those are going to go into foreclosure. So my theory is that we're not going to really see this start happening for another 6 to 9 months. And then you got the moratorium. So the moratorium ends right now at the end of May or June, I think end of June. And then what? So in Georgia, the legal process is that same thing in Texas, Georgia, every state's a little different. The process is that the lender has to say, hey, you guys, you're in default. I want to hear from you. Let's see what we can do to stop this foreclosure. If I don't hear from you, I'm going to start the foreclosure process. I'm going to accelerate the loan. So then that's like a 60-day process from the time the lender tells you that. And then in the non-judicial states that I'm speaking of, it's 4 weeks, minimum 4 weeks advertising. And then they go Super Tuesday, first Tuesday of every month into foreclosure. So at the end of the moratorium, if the communication, well, at the end of the moratorium, that is swelling, that foreclosure, the properties that are in foreclosure, the properties that are in default, they're all going to start coming out at the end of the moratorium. So again, we got two different things going on at the same time. Those are huge numbers also. In my opinion, we're going to dwarf the numbers that happened between 2008, 2009, 10, 11, 12. I mean, we were shooting fish in the barrel. We were buying at the steps all the way up through 2016, 2017. And that's even competing with the hedge funds. Um, one of the attendees says it probably depends on the lender and how the agreement was made, right? So it depends on the lender. More importantly, it depends on the type of loan as to what happens at the end of the forbearance period. So most lenders are going to tell you that you've got like 3 or 4 options. Option number 1 is almost every one of them are making that offer. Now, again, if it's a non-owner occupied loan, I'm not quite sure what's going to happen, but they're making that offer to take the lump sum and put it as a silent second. Offer number 2 for a workout possibility is take the unpaid amount and the current mortgage, put them together and create a new mortgage, but you have to qualify. You know, again, what are those qualifications? Which lenders will allow it to be easy? Which ones are going to make it difficult? I really don't know. And then number 3 is the lump sum gets paid at the end of the forbearance. So if the homeowner does nothing, the lender's going to say, hello, you owe that lump sum. We're going to call that loan due right now. Pay that lump sum or it gets foreclosed. So that's the most toxic one. And that goes with the people who are unwilling to communicate with their lenders. Hey guys, that's where we come in. Our job is to be that rescue team. Our job is to be out there and help people. So until that foreclosure pipeline explodes wide open, there's not a whole lot you can do with buying REOs. There's not a whole lot you could do with buying in stage 2. So you got to go to stage 1. That's my point. But anyhow, I thought I'd tell you that little dissertation first. So there are many ways to find motivated sellers. Banks are motivated sellers, right? So motivated sellers in pre-foreclosure, landlords with vacant properties are extremely motivated. Landlords with not vacant properties and non-paying tenants, they're very motivated. So of course you have to have a pretty thick skin. You got to know what you're doing to work with properties with existing occupants who are not paying. You got to be able to count that cost in your underwriting or in your analysis so that you know it's going to take you probably longer than normal to get possession of that property. But as long as you're willing to do what it takes, again, those may be good opportunities to take them off somebody's hands. Every month that turns over to the next month, you know, mortgages are owed typically somewhere between the 1st and the 5th and late after the 15th. If you know there's vacant properties and there's a mortgage on it, those are good properties to target. You could do direct mail. Look at the whole list. There's so many things you can do, right? So many things you're going to do. I want to talk to you about not necessarily finding the deal tonight. We'll talk about that another time. I want to talk about what happens once you find somebody to talk to. All right. I teach a whole course on buying from auction, buying at the steps and all that. But tonight, I really finding the deal, going out there, driving for dollars, going out, looking at expired listings, looking at for sale by owners, vacant properties, burned out landlords. That's really where you're going to find the gold right now. And you have to be willing to either put in the time, the money, or a little bit of both. And then you need the expertise of what you do. Hopefully, like I said, I'm going to give you a bunch of good information tonight, and I'll give you a link to get a bunch of freebies to get you started on your scripts and everything you need to start talking to sellers. So this is primarily what we do. We do outbound calls, we do text messaging, direct mail, emails. Everything works if you're consistent. What you have to know that when it comes to talking to sellers or dealing direct with seller, it's not send out one piece of mail. It's not make one phone call. You have to do it over and over again. You know, the industry standard says in marketing and advertising, it takes 7 times for a person to see you before they want to do business with you. Everybody has a different number. I stuck on my 7. I started selling Encyclopedia Britannica back in the 80s, and I did that for 5 years. And I mean, amazing, amazing training. And people don't realize when you get into real estate investing, Unless you can shoot fish in the barrel, go find it really easily, go on MLS and pick and choose. You can't do that right now. You have to be a good salesperson. You have to know how to negotiate. You have to know how to have leading questions to find, why does the seller want to deal with you? Why do you have what they need? How do you create that solution for you and the solution for them? So this is what you're targeting. And the most important thing is, what do you do? How do you get there? Um, so I said, what I'm going to do is talk about talking to the seller. And this is what you want to start writing down. What are the leading questions? Once you find somebody, and this is what I say, go out there and go to Vistaprint or make your own business cards at home. You could Google We Buy House business cards, We Buy House marketing, advertising, and you're going to see all of, like, very similar. We buy houses, all cash, close fast, no fees, call us. Everybody says pretty much the same thing because it works. Your message needs to be clear. And why would I do what everybody else is doing? As long as you answer your phone, as long as you answer your email, as long as you're receptive to talking to the seller and know what to say, then you'll get some business. But it does take time. It takes a lot of energy and a lot of time. People think you can just get in this business with zero money and part-time. Eventually, you need to put a lot of resources behind you, resources of energy. First, it's energy, it's consistency. You have to be consistent. That's how you get the business. You cannot compete on the radar, guys. Trust me. Unless you have very deep pockets and you don't care about making very little money on the deal, just going to MLS where there's multiple offers in hours for new listing, even for sell by owner, even Zillow. You've heard of the iBuyers, right? The iBuyers are those internet buyers. I mean, man, oh man, I get so many things in the mail, right? I've got, I love this one. We Buy Houses. This one, this is from Deal Machine. Is this your property? Send this postcard in the mail, and it comes every 21 days to me, same postcard. UGG Buys Ugly Houses, Homevestors, getting theirs. I've seen the most generic postcard from them recently, but it works if you work it. You got to do it enough times. So these are the questions. I mean, this is the bottom line. I'll give you access to the property information sheet in a few minutes. But this is the bottom line. I go to Quick Trip. I get gas. Instead of paying at the pump, I go inside and I pay them and I say, hey, here's my card. I buy houses. I'm looking for a house in the area. Do you know anybody who needs to sell a house in the next 30 days? I do. This guy that lives right around the corner. Great. What's the address? When can I go see it? Can you make the introduction? I incentivize people to help me find deals. Get your Uber driver. I took an Uber down to Atlanta last week, and I had some postcards. I had my business cards, and I said, look, man, hey, I give $500 cash reward if you help me work with somebody who needs help, buying or selling a house. And, because he can be my asset manager. That's how I do that. And sure enough, a couple days later, we talked the entire time. It was like an hour and 5 minutes down to Atlanta. And he never said anything. I had a guy call me and says, yeah, you remember Carlos? Carlos said, call you. I know Carlos from church. It was exciting. I was so excited because that's what you do is you get in there and people need to make money. We can all make money together, but get the message out, get the message out. Do you know anybody who needs to sell a house in the next 30 days? We drive for dollars. I see some of you on here been out with us driving for dollars and go knocking on doors. When we create a list, and it doesn't matter what your list is. It could be an MLS list. It could be for sell by owner. It could be a probate list, a vacant house list. It could be a pre-foreclosure list. Go out there and route 5 addresses, guys. I want to challenge you to do 5 addresses. That's all. Now, understand the way I do it, that's going to take 4 hours, 3 or 4 hours. Every time you get out of your car to put a flyer on one house, you should put a flyer on 3 houses to the right, 3 houses to the left, 5 houses across the street. If you do it that way, that means every time you get out of the car, you're doing a dozen flyers or postcards. People are going to call you. And then I want you to drive around looking for distressed properties, vacant properties, right? I said, I'm not going to tell you how to find deals, but I can't help it. So you're going to go out and find them. As soon as you know you've got somebody and they're calling you back, and they say, hey, I got your flyer you left on my car. You left at my house. Tell me about your program. Thank you so much. What's your name? Can you spell it for me? In case we get disconnected, may I have your phone number? And tell me the address of the house. Once you get that information, guys, look at my screen. What's your situation? Why are you selling? And then I just shut up. That's the first time I shut up. There's only a couple times that I keep my mouth quiet. That's one of them. So once they tell me what their situation, why are they selling, I write down everything they say. I want to use the same words they're using. And usually I turn it to the back on the blank side, and I just take notes, tons of notes while they're talking. And then you want to ask them, what do you hope to have happen? Well, I'm just hoping I'm in free foreclosure and I just want to get out of here. I lost my job. I broke my leg. I can't do anything. I'm going to move in with my brother-in-law and this, that, and the other, and so on and so forth. And that person knows where they're going and what they're doing, and they can't keep that house anymore. That's the person I want. You're looking for the motivated sellers, guys. What do you hope to have happen? I just don't want this house to foreclose. I don't want the foreclosure on my record. And so I would jump down to the bottom question there. Would you be willing to walk away for what you owe on it? When somebody tells me they just want to walk away and they're in pre-foreclosure or they can't afford this house anymore, if somebody says they can't afford the house anymore, they do not own it free and clear, right? So as long as there's a mortgage, that's the question at the bottom. Would you be willing to walk away for what you owe on it? That's where we're going. That's what I'm trying to find out. Now, if I happen to talk to a landlord with a vacant house or a non-paying tenant, and he owns the property free and clear, I'm going to ask that question right above it. If we paid all cash and closed on the day of your choice, what's the lowest you would take? So a cash offer, sellers are used to telling you they want all cash. Your job is to teach them that all cash is not necessarily the best way to sell the house. And so when we make offers, we don't just make an all cash offer. We make 2 or 3 offers total. And because I'm a real estate broker, my team, doesn't matter who on my team is out there, if we make a couple offers and they say, no, I'm sorry, that just won't work. And I say, Mr. Jones, we love your house, but we're just not the perfect buyer. Give my team a chance. We'd love to get it sold for you. I think we could probably do it within 60 days or less. Would you give us that opportunity? So there are wholesalers out there, there are realtors out there, and then there's us. We can do wholesale, we can do an assignment, we can do a double closing, we could do a little rehab and still sell it as a wholesale deal. We do fix and flips. We do options, lease options, not too many of those. Or we can turn around and list and sell it. So my team is all about that. And as long as you build a rapport with someone, that's where you guys come in. That's what you have to do to be successful in real estate investing today, is be able to talk to people and build a rapport. I'm giving you tonight the basics of doing that. That's all you need to do. You know what? I started in real estate in 1990. My first deal took me a year. 1991, I bought my first duplex in Lawrenceville, Georgia. And it took me a year. I was so green. I couldn't win a deal. I couldn't win. We had so much paralysis of analysis. We were too slow in making offers, getting them out there. We were making offers too low because we believed all these REOs, you could just make lowball offers and get them. Even back then, what's that, 91, 30 years ago. 30 years ago, I had to pay $1,000 more than list price to win that duplex. It's the same then as it is now. It's just a different time. It's the same thing. You guys, you have to learn, right? You have to learn, put in enough time in searching for the deals. If we pay, and that was bringing all cash to the table, all cash to the table in this market that is so hot, you're not going to be able to make the deal work. There's this general formula out there that people teach in the real estate investing business. What's the Mayo? Mayo is your maximum allowable offer. And the formula is take your ARV, and ARV is your after repaired value. Take your ARV times 70%, and then minus your rehab, and that gives you your cash offer. That's not going to work in this market. You could put a house on the market that needs 60,000 in rehab and get multiple bids on that at list price and above in some cases. So lowball cash offers aren't working very much. If you go digging for gold and you can find somebody that nobody's talking to, you have a much higher chance of getting a lowball cash offer accepted. Well, then you need to learn, how do I do the other part of the business? So you have to learn those questions. What's your situation? Why are you selling? What do you want to have happen? I just want to be able to have $10,000 at closing, sell this property like it is, and not have to fix it up, not let people walk through my house and not bring their gloves and their mask and whatever. I just want a hassle-free sale. Zillow said they'll give me something, but the price is too low, whatever the case is. What's your situation? Even if I say, would you be willing to walk away for what you owe on it? And they say, I got 60,000 in equity. Are you asking me if I'm willing to give away my equity? I said, basically, yeah. I mean, you've got a mortgage. How much is your mortgage? And you've got 60,000 equity. I mean, I'm just asking, would you be willing to walk away for what you owe? No, I'm not. How much cash do you need at closing is my next question. How much cash do you need at closing? That's what I'm going to ask, right? And they can tell me, what do you need the cash for? I'm just going to put it in the bank. What if I could show you how your money can make money? I don't want to deal with it. What if I guarantee everything. You don't have to deal with anything. You just deal with me. I mean, I'm just saying it. These are options. Nope, that person's not motivated. Next, move on to the next one. You have to say that enough times. You have to find enough people. Bottom line is, if you're unsure if they're the right person, ask the question, on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the most motivated, Mr. Seller, how motivated are you to sell your house? I don't know. Before you called me or knocked at my door, I wouldn't even think about it. Maybe a 2. So next, no matter what you do, you're not going to get that deal because the numbers won't make sense to you unless you do something ridiculous. You could get the deal, but those numbers won't make sense. So if they're not motivated, go to the next person. But this is it right here. Right here is the basics. Learn how to, ask the leading questions. Don't be scared. Everybody you talk to is practice for you. So this is the property information sheet. Everything I showed you is right on here. And I'll give you access to this tonight. So on the right-hand side, they called me because I left a flyer at their house and they said, hi, I got your flyer. And I said, great, who am I speaking with? It's Cindrea Donson. Cindrea, can you spell that? That's a beautiful name. How do you spell that? And they spelled too fast. I'm so sorry. Can you please spell it again? And in case we just get disconnected, can I get your phone number? Thank you. And you said you got a flyer from me. Where did you get the flyer? On my door. Thank you. What's the address of the property? What county is that in? And then I move down to, what's your situation? Why are you selling? What do you want to have happen? How long have you owned it? How did you get your price? When's the last time it was appraised? When was the last time any repairs were done? What were they? Is the house rented, occupied, vacant? Do you live in the house? And there it is. If we can stop the foreclosure, would you be willing to walk away from your home for what you owe on it? Where will you go? When? These are my leading questions. If it's not a pre-foreclosure, you don't ask if we can stop the foreclosure. You just simply say, would you be willing to walk away from your home for what you owe on it? Where will you go? When? And this next question is about a lease option. If we guarantee your payments and maintenance until your house is sold, would you consider a lease option? Do you need all your money at closing, or could you take some now and some later? That's my seller finance question. Would you consider owner finance? How much do you need down? Those kind of things. That existing mortgage information box, that I'm almost always going to get to that box. Sometimes I beeline to that question at the very beginning. Do you have a mortgage? How much is your mortgage? How much is the balance on your mortgage? Who's your lender? How much is your monthly payment? Does that include your taxes and insurance? That's my mortgage information. Is there a foreclosure date set? When's the last time you spoke to your lender? How many payments are past due? Where it says amount in arrears, I don't say that to people. I say, how much is it going to take to bring your loan current? That's my subject to questions, right? That's what I'm trying to figure out there. What's my subject to possibility? And subject to means the loan stays in their name, but I'm going to make payments on their behalf and I get title to the house. That's subject to. I don't need to use my own credit. I don't need to get an appraisal. I don't need to wait 30 to 45 days. I can close as soon as we run title. Guys, feel free to put questions in the chat box. All right, so then this is the bottom of that same sheet, the property information sheet. This is small talk. If you don't know how to ask your leading questions immediately, then you just go here and you say, tell me about the house. How many bedrooms, bathrooms? I let them talk. And then I say, how big is it? Do you know the square footage? What year was it built? Does it have a basement? Is it finished, unfinished, partial, full? Is there a bathroom, bedroom in the basement? What kind of construction is it? What's the age of the roof? I don't really care, guys. I don't care about these questions. I use it if I have to build a relationship out of thin air. People will do business with people they like, trust, and have confidence in. I have to build confidence. I have to build a likability, right? I have to show that I'm interested. So this is the property information sheet. And again, you can get access to this slide presentation. I'm pretty sure, that you go back to the REI USA site and you can see this over and over. I basically, this is what I call my annotated version right here. Those, and if nothing else, take a screenshot. I'm going to give you access to the property information sheet, but take a screenshot. This is it right here. What's your situation? Why are you selling? What do you want to have happen? Look in highlighted yellow. Would you be willing to walk away from your home for what you owe on it? Look in red, the red circles. Where will you go? When? Those are the most important questions in the entire sheet. Everything else is designed to get answers to these questions, guys. That's it. Everything else is designed to get you to ask these leading questions. How do you like this so far? Anybody learning anything? Talk to me in the chat box. I want to make sure you're still here. All right, all right, all right. Thank you. All right, so that's it. Look at the right-hand side, clipboard. You should buy 2 clipboards, put one in your car and put one by your computer or your telephone in the house, and add 25 to 50 copies of the property information sheet. I'll show you in a minute how to get it, and get good at this. I mean, if you're serious about this business, I'm going to show you. I want to show you. Don't have paralysis of analysis. My daughter, if you guys know Kelly, my daughter, she's so sweet. We heard it at a seminar, and she keeps telling me over and over, don't make perfect the enemy of done. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to know everything. You just have to do it. You have to implement. You have to be out there doing the business. You have to say to everybody you know, do you know anybody who needs to sell a house? I'm looking to buy a house in this area. What area? Anywhere, guys. You've just added yourself to my network. My network. You find a motivated seller. All I want is a motivated seller who's willing to move out of their house, and we'll figure out a way to make their situation work, even if it's not in your territory. So we do this and I do it in different states. I live here in Atlanta. I've got licenses, real estate licenses in several states. I have students up north in the Northeast. My furthest student is California, New Orleans, Indiana. We've done business in Delaware, Kansas, Florida, Alabama, South Carolina, Tennessee, North Carolina, all over. So wherever you are, if you can do the basics, I'm giving you everything tonight to equip you to get out there, find this information. I'll show you where to put when you get this far, if you listen to what I'm telling you and you get this far, by the time I'm done tonight, I'll show you how we can help you get to the closing table. All right, you ready for the next part? This is where you get your free property information sheet. Isn't that so cute? That is really a QR code. So you can take your camera and you could just look at that QR code right there and it'll take you, or you can just take that URL and copy it into your browser. And that's where you'll get the property information sheet, just like the ones I just showed you. Get the property information sheet and print out 100. Print out 100 of those. Okay, after the seller says yes, you say, what do I do next? They said yes, but I don't have the money to do the deal. I don't even know how to take over when it says, are you willing to walk away? I don't know what to do, Darlene. What do I do? Do you find that you do better with FSBOs, expired listings, or pre-foreclosures? Angela, great question. All of the above. Let's say this. Advertising and marketing says 1%, you're going to talk to 100 people to get one deal, right? You got to talk to lots and lots of people to get this done. With for sale by owner, I wish I had a quick answer, and I don't. My answer is an essay. When it comes to for sale by owners, the only thing that's really going to work with the for sale by owner, let's talk about the Atlanta, Georgia market. Now in Indiana, it's different. In New Jersey, it's different. But in the Atlanta, Georgia market, when I'm looking at for sale by owners, I'm not going to be able to get a lowball cash offer done. If the for sale by owner cannot drop their price, the same thing with expired listings. There's so many deal structures that we work on. Only certain deal structures will work. After I saw you earlier today, I had office hours. Part of my training, I do ultimate foreclosure formula, and we do virtual office hours. One of the girls in one of the investors is a real estate agent. And last week, she and I did a one-on-one, and she's like, the MLS is just a waste of time. I said, okay, well, let me show you. And so on expired listings, I got a qualified answer, Angela. So on expired listings, I'm looking for vacant, and I'm looking for expired, at least, I want them to be at least 20 days ago, and then it doesn't matter. I want them to have DOM, days on market, over 60. So if it's expired, it was on the market for at least 60 days, and it's vacant. Do a little bit more research. If they have a mortgage, the number one reason that listings expire is because the price is too high. So the only way you can buy that is if you're willing to do either a subject to or seller financing. And if it's a vacant property, that increases your chance on expired listings. Otherwise, expired listings are very tough to deal with. There's a lot more research that you have to do. Go in and make sure it didn't sell. Go in, make sure it didn't get relisted. Even if it does, it doesn't matter. In my conversation, because I'm a broker, I've got my broker hat and I've got my investor hat. But when it comes to expired listings, I call and I say, hey, this is Darlene with KDH Realty. I've got a buyer interested in your property at 123 Main Street. Is it still available? I know I'm looking at expired listing, and I just ask that. Sometimes they say, I already sold it. Sometimes they say, yes, but you need to call my agent. Or sometimes they say, oh, I relisted it with another agent, or I relisted it with my agent. Or sometimes they say, yes, it is. Thank you. How much are you asking? Look, guys, I can come in sideways, upside down, inside out. Doesn't matter. Guess what I'm doing? Going right back to my property information sheet. What's your situation? Why are you selling it? What do you hope to have happen? How soon did you want to close? The more you know about them, the more you can provide the solution for them. So when Sean and I were talking about last week, she got on a one-on-one. We drilled down on expired listings. She made a phone call. She put one of the properties into the portal, and we actually looked at it. We made an offer in the last 24 hours between last night and today, and we got a phone call back. And they were very confused. They don't know what a wraparound mortgage on seller finance is and blah, blah, blah. That's great. All I want to have happen is I want somebody to call me. I want somebody to talk to me. Once your phone starts ringing, then your job starts to find the solution to their problems. Do you find it better to work FSBOs, pre-foreclosures? Pre-foreclosures are really tough. I've been working pre-foreclosures for more than 20 years. And pre-foreclosures are really tough because you have an emotional burden. You have people. It's the people business. You have to care about people. You have to be willing to be helpful. I'll never give up pre-foreclosures. And pre-foreclosures lead to foreclosures and lead to post-foreclosures. So sometimes my work on pre-foreclosures turns into an REO that I buy down the line. But for pre-foreclosures, a lot of people you talk to want to keep their property. I don't make money helping people keep their property, but I do help them keep their property. There are investors out there that charge to help people keep their property. So that's the challenge with pre-foreclosures, is they want to keep their property. The good thing about pre-foreclosures is it's an easy list to get. As a matter of fact, I didn't put that in my presentation tonight, but I do have pre-foreclosures for you here in Atlanta. That same link, if you want to get pre-foreclosure leads, you can get them through that link also that I gave you for the property info sheet. But pre-foreclosures typically get advertised for foreclosure more than one time. Most pre-foreclosures don't go to foreclosure the first time that they get their notice. So they come back over and over again. It's all about building rapport. And pre-foreclosures, you could buy pre-foreclosures with cash. You could do it with seller finance very carefully, or you could do it as a subject to, or you could do a short sale. There's a lot of options for pre-foreclosures. Pre-foreclosures could be a good buy and hold. They could be a good wholesale, or they could be a good fix and flip. So there's a lot of different things like that. For sell by owner, again, it's just a matter of finding out what their situation is. Why are they selling? What do they want to have happen? And how soon did they want to close? That's it right there. And like I said, no matter where I start, no matter who I'm talking to, someone said to me, yeah, but I got the granddaughter. I said, get her on the phone. Let's talk to her. Talk to the granddaughter. I said, tell me the situation. Why are you selling? So your granddad owns the house. Okay. Who lives in it? When did you guys want to close? What cash? How much money do you guys need at closing? That's what I do. I don't care. I don't care. I care that you talk to somebody that said they need to sell their house. Now I got to drill down. So it doesn't matter the source for me. It matters about learning how to drill it down a certain way. All right. So back here, after the seller says, yes, I want to sell my house for what I own. What do I do next? Then you memorize the fair enough script. Mr. Jones, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me about your house. Let me see how I can make the numbers work. What I want to do now is do a little research on the computer and see what the market looks like in the area and discuss it with my partner, my husband, my whoever, significant other. If the numbers look good and I think we can make it work, then I'll call you back and arrange to come out and go over the agreement with you and review the whole process together. Is that fair enough? And when they say yes, you say, if you like everything and agree, and I even say, if you like me and we agree together on everything, all I ask is that you be prepared to sign the agreement then. Is that fair enough? Fantastic. Thank you. What's the latest I can call you? So what I'm telling you guys is don't get paralyzed by over knowing. You don't have to know everything. You have to know this. What's their situation? Why are they selling? What do they want to have happen? When do they want to close? Thank you for giving me the information. Let me do my research. And if it looks good, I'll call you back. I'll call you either way. Is that fair enough? Great. And then you go to your computer and then, let me go back there. And then I'm going to show you how you can we'll give you free deal analysis. Deal analysis is if you want to put your information into the website, into the portal, and give me the information. The more information, the better. And say, hey, this, that, and the other. I'm going to give you, we created some automated, I call it automated underwriting. It's automated analysis. And it'll spit back out to you what the Mayo should be. Darlene has it's a rehab grid. It's up there on my wall right there. And it says if it's older than 1970, less than 1,500 square feet, it's going to take 65,000 in rehab. If it's newer than 2010 and it's less than 2,500 square feet, it's going to take 10,000 in rehab. So our preliminary analysis puts the rehab number on there. It puts a market value on there, and so on and so forth. And then it puts your Mayo, which is your cash offer, your maximum allowable cash offer. In addition, it comes directly to my email and my team. And one of us will contact you and we'll say, hey, what's the situation here? And funny thing is, the web form that we created is the same as the property information sheet. I'm going to ask you the same questions, a little bit differently, but the same questions. If you just give me bare information, I'm not going to be able to give you much. I'm not going to be able to tell you much. We'll give you a preliminary analysis, yes. But if you really want to know how to structure your next 3 offers, I'm going to ask you, what's your exit strategies? Buy and hold, flip, wholesale, whatever it is. I'm going to ask you and then we'll teach you your acquisition strategies. And that is all cash, seller finance, lease option, whatever the case may be. So when I was younger, when I sold Encyclopedia Britannica, I was not a salesperson. I was a young lady in my 20s, and I did not want to do that job. And anyway, I ended up doing that job for 5 years. That was my only income, selling Encyclopedia Britannica. Their training was awesome. Their market and research was off the chain. They spent so much money. And long story, started in Buffalo and I moved to Atlanta selling Britannica. I became a manager working over the counter. So not only did we go door knocking and setting appointments, we also did over the counter sales. I came down here running the Six Flags Bark information booth for Encyclopedia Britannica. While you guys came there to go ride rides, I'm trying to sell you a set of encyclopedias. Oh. Anyway, amazing training. And the most important thing I learned was memorizing. I learned memorizing. And the importance of memorizing is so that you don't have to think about what you're going to say next. And that's why I want you to memorize. This is it. 1, 2, 3 little paragraphs. Thank you for taking the time to talk with me about your house. Let me see how I can make the numbers work. What I want to do now is go do a little research on my computer, see what the market looks like, and discuss it with my partners. If the numbers look good and I think we can make it work, I'll call you back, arrange a time to come out, go over the agreement, review the process together. Fair enough. If you like it and you like me and we agree, all I want you to do is be prepared to sign then. Is that fair enough? This is the basis right here, guys. Learn how to find the seller, ask those questions, go to the Fair Enough script. Here's my free ebook. It has the Fair Enough script in it. It has the first 5 simple steps to get involved in this business. I'm telling you, you're going to be like, man, I learned so much just in this hour coming here tonight. This is so exciting. So I do have an amazing program. We do coaching for 90 days, the ultimate foreclosure formula. I'll tell you about it on that link also. It'll tell you about it. If you're really ready to do this business and you're ready, you have resources, you have time, you have energy, you have motivation, your why is big enough for you to get in real estate. You might want to think about, joining our program. It's an amazing 90-day coaching. And it's everything I'm telling you here to the nth degree. So anyway, there's the free Fair Enough script. Also, that's what the book looks like. That's the ebook right there. 5 easy steps to real estate investing with less than $250. All of those on the front cover are deals that I've done in the last probably 3 years, just different ones, subject to deals. We buy it at auction.com, online auctions. There are lots of different things there. Excuse me. Okay, so you get the free ebook. You'll love it. And then the deal analysis. Go to my website, ultimateforeclosureformula.com, and then you'll see where it's highlighted investor resources. Click there, and then you'll see a screen will come up and submit a potential deal will be there. Click on submit a potential deal, and then this is what I'm talking. This is the web form. So you fill out as much information as you can. By the way, if the web form is not working for you, it's because there's an asterisk, and we all know asterisk means what? A required field. That's right. So it's a required field. I have to pretend we're interacting because I can't do this without you guys. So it's a required field. I have a placeholder. It's called number 1. So if you don't have an answer, if you don't know the seller's asking price, type in just the number 1. If you don't know something, type in the number 1. Okay. If you don't give me some information, you won't get a Mayo back. So there's certain basic information you should know. If you don't know it, guess what? Go to Zillow.com and it gives you information about 95 to 99% of the houses in the United States and then some. So you can at least find out things there. So at least do that. But if you get the first part, you go out and you find the seller and you ask them what's their situation, why are they selling, what do they want to have happen, and how much cash do they need at closing, and what is their closing date. If that's all you get, and then you say, thank you so much. Let me go back to my computer, run some numbers, see if I can make this work. I'll call you back. Fair enough. Then go here and click on submit a potential deal. I swear to you, and I promise I won't steal your deals. And I have a very nice team. I handpick my team, and you'll love it. We're not going to steal your deals. I do tell people to be careful to put a deal out there that you're not protected in, but we will get back to you. Against automated analysis comes back to you immediately, and then my team will be back to you. Most cases within 36 hours, sometimes 48 hours, depending if it's holidays, weekends, 95 degrees outside and we're at the beach. No, mostly we'll get back to you quickly. Anyway, so there's that. And then the free webinar, same thing. Working with foreclosures in 2021 during the pandemic, definitely, take a look at the free webinar. If you like everything, you want to join the coaching, please come on. It's like $497 for 90 days of a lot of this. I do talk slower sometimes, but mostly it's a lot of information. So I think that's about it. And here I am every month. I'll be here every month, the fourth Tuesday at 7 p.m. from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern time. It's 7:57, so we have 3 minutes for Q&A. So let me know what questions you guys have. Where are you guys from? What states are you in? Talk to me. Tell me some things. How did you like this tonight? If you really liked this, please go on REI USA Facebook group or wherever and say, man, Darlene is the bomb. And let everybody know to join the foreclosure super group. All right, Decatur, yeah. Where are you guys looking for deals? All right then. Well, I'm here, always looking for some JVs. I'd love to joint venture with you. I hope this was very exciting. I hope this was very helpful. I love it. I've been doing it 30 years. It's all I do. So if you guys are excellent, excellent. I'm licensed in all of those states except Texas. Texas has the same foreclosure laws that we have. So it's super exciting. All right, guys. Well, we're supposed to be here for an hour and it is an hour. So thank you. Thank you. And I hope to see you guys around. There is an opportunity to do one-on-one on that link too. If you want to get together one-on-one, we'll spend 50 minutes, talk about your business, see if there's anything we can do together or anything I can do to help you. Thank you guys so much for being here. Have a good one. Good seeing you, Angela. I can never see enough of you and Janet. Love you guys. Bye, everybody.